I was early. Freaking she was. Hey, what's up you guys, and welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title, in today's video I will be doing a frontal wig install walkthrough. So as you can already see, I braided my client's hair down and I oiled her scalp off camera. For the sake of this video, I didn't film it, so don't kill me. So the first thing I do like to do is get my Got2b gel and I push their hairline back with my hands, and then I go in with a brush and I push it back even more, just to get all those little baby hairs, all those flyaways. You want to make sure everything is back during this process so that when you glue your hair down or when you're applying the glue, it's not getting too much in their hair, So yeah, make sure you push it back, make sure they slicked down. We don't want none of that showing, okay? So do what you gotta do, slick it down. After that, we take that wig cap, make sure they hold it down so it's not sliding when you pull it down in the back. And then what I like to do is I like to pull my cap back a little bit behind their hairline, because guess what? I don't do the ball cap method because I'm just not a fan of it anymore. I've let it go. As of 2 weeks ago, I've let the ball cap method go. I'm not a fan of it anymore. It's too messy. I don't even do it on myself, so why would I do it on my clients? Like, I don't like the fact that the cap begins stuck in the lace, all of that. And I was just explaining that to her too in this part of the video as well. I was having her hold the wig, check it out. So after you put that cap on, you get your, I use Pro Concealer, and I just match the shade. I tested on their forehead first. I didn't do it on that video. I didn't do it on camera either for the sake of this video, time. It was going to be a very long video had I did that on camera. I get their shade, and I just make sure I, put it all over the cap, put it all over the front half of the cap. Make sure everything is completely covered, because you do not want that cap to be white as snow. And then when your client take a picture, they're gonna be texting you, calling you like, hey, I can see my cap in my picture, like, what's going on? I got flashback. Like, no, you don't want that. After that, you want to take your needle and your thread, and you want to sew the cap down so that it's not sliding all over the place. And I feel like that was the biggest reason for the ball cap method. We using all that Got2b spray and all that glue so that the cap don't go nowhere. And of course, to mimic a scalp, like a bald scalp, which makes sense, but you can still get the same outlook with just doing it this way. Like, you're not going to be able to see that thread that, I know it's black. You can always use another color too, but even if you use black, you still ain't gonna be able to see it. So I don't know. I feel like if you can get the same outcome with less steps, why not take the easier route? You know what I mean? And it's not even the fact that it's easier. I just prefer it because it's less messy and less time consuming and not extra, So after that, you want to put their wig on the head. You want to put their wig on their head, have them hold it down while you secure the combs, the elastic band, whatever it is, secure it in the back. I was having her hold it down so that it didn't slide back and, snatch her head off. So in this part, we're getting ready to cut the ear tabs. And so what I like to do, and if you can see it from my point of view, which I know you can't, but from what I saw, I'm just taking my finger up under there, pushing the cap back just a little bit, because if you have it down too far, you'll be able to see it like right under the lace when you lay it down. But what I like to do is I like to put the lace on the skin versus putting it on the cap. I think that's another reason, or no, that is another reason why I don't like the ball cap method anymore. I was having to put it on the cap, and then you could kind of see the cap right under the lace versus, not even versus, but what I've learned, I know I'm talking too much. Like, I know I'm kind of like getting off track a little bit in my sentences, but what I've learned though is when I install wigs, the lace melts way better when you put it on the skin. And I realized, like, with the caps, I was putting it on the caps as well. Like, I didn't like how it was melting on top of the cap, like right behind it. So now with me not doing the ball cap method, I'm putting it in front of the cap. The cap is behind the hairline, so you can't even see the cap anymore because it's in the parts that I didn't even pluck. So it's like, it's just melting into skin now. I really hope that makes sense for the viewers listening. And for the viewers listening that don't do the ball cap method no more, comment down below. Let me know. Let me know if I'm making sense to y'all, because it makes sense to me. This is why I don't do it anymore. So as I said, the next step is you want to cut these ear tabs off, and you want to cut it in a curve, like a C, like a sideways C. Yeah, a sideways C, because you don't want the wig to be over your client's ear, because that can get real irritating. So after you cut it, you want to ask your client, how does that feel? Is it irritating the back of your ear? Are you comfortable? Is this wig comfortable? Because you want them to keep it on their head. You don't want them to be so irritated that they want to snatch the wig off, Because in my early days of installing wigs, I would put them on, and boy, the back of my ear and like the top of my ear was itching so bad. And I had a bad habit of installing my clients' wigs, and it would be over their ear too after I had the issues with myself. So you want to make sure you cut that seat nice and deep too. Well, not too deep, you know what I'm saying, but you make sure it's nice and curved, really, so that it's comfortable on their heads. And you want to make sure they're holding that thing down too when you're cutting it. Not when you're cutting it, but like have them let it go, then cut it. But just make sure they're holding it down on each side, just so that the placement is correct and that everything stays in place while you're cutting, so that nothing is, unaligned, uneven. Because when I pull, you see how I'm pulling it down right now? When I pull it too far, the other side will lift up, and then boom, I have to go back over and fix other things, or I cut one side more than the other side, So make sure they hold that thing down, make them participate. As a Queen Leor, I forgot what her name is, but she said make them participate. You want to make them work, So after that, I like to pull that wig back. Make sure it's in the right place. You don't want to pull it back too far to where it slip off their head, but just pull it back. Then get your glue and place it, like I said, place it in front of the wig cap. I don't like putting no glue on the wig cap no more. If you want to be like me, don't do that. Don't do it. So, and just ignore us, y'all. We was making a TikTok. It was so fun. I had so much fun making this TikTok with her. We was laughing, doing the most. We have to keep restarting. That's why she in the camera right now. We have to keep restarting, keep getting the music right, putting the little line in place, if you know what I mean. If you're a TikToker, you know what I mean. Trying to match it up with the sound. And that's why it's taking me so long to finish putting this glue on here, because like we were literally trying to make sure that it was right. We had to keep doing takes after takes after takes. Doing TikTok is very time consuming. So people that do that for a living, like they get paid off of that, I understand. So they earn every coin that they get, because that stuff is not easy. It's not a 5-minute, task. It takes all day long, especially when it comes down to editing and mapping it out. And I know this is like off topic, but yeah, it's very time consuming. It's well worth the money they get. So yeah, make sure you putting that glue on across their head. I don't know what I was trying to say, but just make sure you apply the glue. I don't like to do too thin layers, because you want to have enough to let it so that it hold. And after each layer, I spread it out thin so that it dries quicker. But I don't let it dry completely before I put the next layer on. Because I learned from the videos of Arrogant Tay Masterclass, them leaked videos. I learned from those. And somebody said that he didn't let the glue dry after each layer. I forgot the reason behind it, but he said he didn't do that. So I was like, I want to be like, Tay, let me not let that glue dry immediately. So what I do is I spread it thin. And while it's drying, like I don't let it dry completely, but I spread it thin. So while it's thin, it's like already, it sounds confusing the way I'm explaining it, but I spread my glue and then I go in with another layer. That's literally all I do. I spread my glue, as you can see, put in another layer. It ain't even dry yet on the other layer. And then I spread that out somewhere. I spread each layer out every time I do it. So it goes like this. You apply that glue, spread it out, apply some more glue, spread it out, apply some more glue, spread it out. And then after that 4th or 5th layer, you want to let it air dry. And it's still going to dry clear. And you don't want to make sure you spread it out thin so that it's not drying like super thick and white. It should still dry clear. Excuse me, y'all. No matter how many layers you put, it should still dry clear. So even if you put 6 layers, make sure you spreading it out thin and still applying all the layers. And it's okay if it gets on the lace just a bit, it'll dry. As you can see, boom, we clear. It's clear. There's glue on there, y'all. You can't even see it's clear. And after that, what you want to do is you want to pull that cap down. This is the big part, y'all. This is the most important part. When you're laying that lace down, you want to make sure you put it right in the glue. Don't put it too far behind, because then you're going to have a mess to clean up. It's okay if you put it too far ahead, and you can't see. because you can always go back in and add some more glue in those spots that didn't really catch the glue like that. So yeah, put either right in the glue, a little bit above the glue if you just not you ain't too comfortable putting it right in the glue, but don't put it back too far. Like the shine, you'll be able to see the shine when you're when you putting that lace down. Like when I have my ring light right in front of me, so I see a little glare as I'm putting the lace down. So I'll be like, oh yeah, put it right in that glared spot because that's where the glue is. So yeah, as you can see, we still doing our TikTok ting. We still doing our TikTok ting. And I think it was like a Nicki Minaj TikTok sound. Y'all can go follow it. I'll put our TikToks in the description. I'm gonna put her social media in the description as well, and my social media. Also, before I even move forward, let me get into this hair. So this hair was sent to me by SLOVE hair, or I believe it's pronounced SLOVE hair. SLOVE or SLOVE hair. I've heard somebody pronounce it SLOVE hair, but that's besides the point. Anyways, they sent me a 200 density 24-inch highlighted wig, and when I tell y'all this hair is the bomb, it is the bomb. It straightens really well and it holds a curl. Later on in the video, you'll see that I crimped the hair. We were gonna stick with it straight, but personally, I just don't like straight hair like that. Like, it was super silky, super straight. It took heat very well. I'm just not a fan of straight hair, like in its straight state. I love working with straight hair, but I'm just not a fan of it as a style, if you get what I mean. But I love the highlights on this unit. These are very Beyonce. This is giving very much Beyonce. Beyonce all on the beat, like, or Beyonce all in his mouth like liquor. I think that's what she said, and that's what it's giving. So yeah, y'all, just make sure you purchase this wig before the summer is over. You know, highlights are perfect for the summer. I love it for the summer, and I believe y'all will too. So make sure y'all go spend it. So back into the walkthrough. After you pull that lace down into the glue, you want to take your comb. Some people like to use their fingers, but I personally like to use the comb. And I go in and I press into that hairline. And I know you just saw me grab the elastic band and put it on there. That's what we're going to get into, but we were filming a TikTok, like I said, and I had to keep going back and forth because we had to keep doing different takes of me trying to film one specific part. And of course we were talking in between. So yeah, this was like I said, TikTok ain't no joke, y'all. Like, it's really serious. So I'm still pushing the hairline in at this point for the video, and yeah, that's what really like melted into the lace. So after you get your band and you put it on there, that's what's gonna melt the lace. And I like to think of like my lace melting process. It's like a part 1, part 2 type of thing. So when you put the lace, like when you put the band on there the first time, that's melting the lace part 1. You know, this is just melting it so that when we cut the lace off later on in the video, you be like, oh, okay, yes, it's in there. That it ain't going nowhere. And then later on in the video, you'll see that I go in with my Got To Be spray, and I spray it over the hairline again. And that's the melt part 2. Like, that's the final melt. Like, after you spray that lace and put that band on and then take that band off, like, that is the full final melt. Spraying that Got To Be spray is really what gets the true meltage. You know what I mean? And I'll talk about that again later on in the video, but yeah. So after you put that elastic band on there, that's when you want to begin styling your client's hair. And just be aware of your clients that got piercings. You know, you want to make sure that it's not too tight on their ears. You know, you don't want to rip their freaking ear off as you tying this band. It don't have to be too tight so where they get a headache, but just make sure it's tight enough to where that lace is really getting pressed into the skin. And that's what causes the melt. And you want to begin to style their hair while the band is, you know, melting the lace while it's drying, while the glue is drying, basically. And so we decided to, well, really with this wig, you can only do a middle part. So there's no room for a side part, because I know I said it's a 13x4 wig, but for people that know about hair, I hope you understand what I mean by, okay, so it's not a full 13x4. Like, it's a 13x4. Like, the top part is like a 4x4 closure. And then the part that's going ear to ear, it's only lace where the hairline is. So with a typical frontal, you can do like a half up, half down, and you could achieve a half up, half down with this one, but it will be kind of lumpy because it tracks alongside the hairline. So it's kind of like a T-part wig, but it's a 13x4 type of thing. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Like the top part is literally just as big as a 4x4 closure. Like you don't get the full lace all across. So that's why we decided to go with a middle part. We really wanted to do half up, half down, but I just wasn't comfortable with doing that because I really did not want to waste my time doing it. And then it was lumpy because the tracks are in the way. I'm pretty sure it's achievable, but me, I like my stuff to be super flat. Like I'm talking like ball flat, if you know what I mean. So yeah, go ahead and press that hair out. Get that middle part nice and straight. And what y'all will notice as I'm doing her hair, her middle part, it's gonna be to the side just a little bit because the way I have my stuff set up in my little hair studio / room is the mirrors in front of me, but the way it's angled, I guess it messes with my eyes away. And then I have a big fat ring light right in front of my face too, so I can't really see how I'm parting her hair. And as you can see, look, like it's to the side right now. You see me trying to look and see and get it straight, like I'm trying to get my sis straight, but it's to the side just a bit. But I'm gonna fix that later on towards the end, because I have to step in front of her to see where it's at. And y'all will not believe me when I say this happens every single time I do somebody hair. Like they part always goes to that side, and I have no clue why. My braids always curve to the side too. Like I think it has something to do with me being right-handed. I'm not sure, but they always come out that way. But yes, after you put that band on, you want to begin styling her hair. And the next thing I do is I go through each section when I'm parting the hair, and I flatten each part out because you don't want your wig to be lumpy dumpy at all. You know, we want it to be super flat, super laid, super slayed, okay? And yeah, just go through every single part with that wax stick and press it out. And what I've learned too, like if you don't want it to be too flat, you could just do the top layer and maybe the middle layer, because you know some wigs don't be full enough. Like they be full, or when you make it too flat, the wig starts to look a little thin. So if you don't want it to be too flat like that, because you know some people have a different preference, you know. So if you don't want it to be too flat, just do the middle layer and the top layer, and it should be a decent flat, you know. And you want to just go over that top part. And I like to push my hairline, or not my hairline, but I like to push the hair forward as I'm hot combing it, because I don't know, I used to do it straight to the side, but I started to see how weird that looked. I just didn't like it anymore. I grew out of that look. So I like to push my hair to the front just a little bit. I feel like that looks more natural. That is my preference. That is how I do things. And if you want to be like me, do it too. And I think on that side I did the middle and the top part too. Like it was already flat enough. It didn't need to be flat anymore. And even though her part is crooked, sis is sitting flat. Like, don't play with me. It's very flatimous, and I'm here for it. Also, you want to make sure that you're flattening out. You want to take part some hair out in the back and cover up that track in the back as well, because there is a track that's right behind the frontal / closure, and you want to make sure that you're covering that up, because that's gonna have them looking crazy. You don't want your clients to be walking around with a track showing the back. You know, it looks more like a head if that makes sense. Oh Lord, I cannot believe, look at how crooked that part is, y'all. I cannot believe I did that, and I thought it was okay. Like I'm looking at it like, I look good. And then I walked around to the front. I was like, what? But let's get into these highlights, y'all. These highlights were definitely for her. She owns highlights right now. Like she invented them, because look at her. She's owning it. And look at you see me trying to fix this part right now. I think I fixed it in this part because I walked around the front. I was like, hold up. What's going on up there? Yeah, girl. We getting her right. We are getting her right. First of all. Ooh, and I learned a trick, you guys. Or this is a tip. When you're hot combing your clients, you know some people have hot combs that go up to 500 degrees. I don't understand why you would need a hot comb that freaking hot. 430 is just enough. You know what I mean? The hair is going to get flat regardless. But what I like to do sometimes is You got to be quick with it too, because that heat will definitely transfer like all the way through that lace and it'll burn it right on their scalp. So I like to press it, but I'm not pressing it too hard. And what I do is I pull the hair up and then I press into it, because you're kind of like lifting the lace up off their head, so that way the heat's not necessarily touching their head. And you always want to ask your clients or let them know, like, hey, if this gets too hot, let me know, because you ain't trying to burn nobody. I don't think I burned anybody yet. I hope I don't in the future. I may have nicked a few people, but I always apologize. Like, y'all, it's never in my intention to burn anybody, and I feel so bad whenever I do, because it's like, girl, pay attention to what you're doing. Why is you trying to make your patients, your clients crispy? Like, calm down. Don't do all of that. So now we are about to take this elastic band off, I believe. This is my first time watching this video all the way through, so we finna see what's next. Right, okay, so we finna take this elastic band off, and then we're finna cut the lace. This is my favorite part. Although this isn't the final melt, like I said, this is the melt part 1. This is my favorite part. Cutting the lace off is my absolute favorite part, because you get to see how melted, how laid everything is. It's literally gonna look like it's growing from her head, literally growing from her scalp. You would think that I didn't even apply a wig on her head. You would be like, wow, she just got a silk press. It's amazing. So yeah, after you take that band off, you want to comb the little hairs out that may have gotten caught in the melt. And I like to take it's a razor. I forgot what kind of razor this is called, but I like to take this kind of razor and just start on the right side, and I work my way over. I think it's because I'm right-handed that I like to start on this side. I never start on the left side. It's hard for me to do it that way. So I start on that side and I just start cutting that lace. Y'all, like, let's just look. Like, this is always my favorite part, literally. And then for my first time clients, they're always excited too. They're like, oh my God, that looks so good. Like, oh my God, girl, where's the lace at? And I'll be like, girl, don't even say that yet, because this is just the melt part 1. Like, don't even say where's the lace. Say that after the melt part 2, okay? Because that's when we really wonder what the lace is. We're very confused as to where the lace went after the melt part 2. But even right now, look at how laid that is. Tell me that's not growing out her head. Tell me it's not, so that I can argue with you. If you don't think that's growing out her head, hit me up, because I want to fight at this point. And I know her part is literally not finished up there in the front. It's because I couldn't see it because it was under the band. But that's not even the point. Look at the freaking lace. Oh wait, where is it? We don't know. We don't know where the lace is. Let me stop playing, because we can see the lace on the side. I can see the lace on the side. Let me stop hyping it. But girl, this is my favorite part. And then after you cut the lace off, you want to push all the pieces back in that, you know, some pieces don't really get into the melt, and that's okay. We're going to push them back in, and whatever didn't like lay down in the glue, you want to take your glue, put it on your hand, and put it on the tip of a comb, and you want to go, or a spatula, and you want to go under all those little pieces that didn't get melted. And I know it's a little highlighted around her hairline, but that's because this is the melt part 1. That's why I believe it's 2 parts. It's the melt part 1, okay? So don't worry about that highlight. It's gonna go away later on in the video, so bear with me. After you glue all the pieces down that need to be glued down, I think I'm getting alcohol to clean up a few of the areas where it's like glue hanging out. But anyways, I did that off camera. Next up is we want to take our baby hair out. If they don't want baby hair, then you would move on to the step where you just spray the hairline and then move on to the melt part 2. But this is the beginning stages, or the beginning steps of the melt part 1. Oh no, my bad. Beginning stages of melt part 2, because you pull the baby hair out on each side. If they just want a few, you just pull out a few. And after this, you're going to go in with your got to be spray. You're going to spray it all across that lace as if you were doing just a glueless install, but it's not. And after, you put that band on and you will let it melt again. But I don't know if you can see, like, if I explained it earlier about the cap, but you see how it's still looking melted and we didn't even do a ball cap? Like, it kind of makes you think like, the ball cap don't even seem so necessary like that. It's literally exactly where it needs to be. Like, when I push the cap back, it's only necessary for the part, honestly, if you ask me. And I've heard somebody tell me some people don't even use ball caps. Although I wouldn't go that far, because I feel like ball caps are still very necessary. Like, the fact that people still get a slate installed without a ball cap says a lot. So yeah, we're still pulling out these baby hairs. I don't even know why it's taking me so long to do that. But you still want to pull the baby hair out. Make sure you pull all the hairs that you don't want to get melted down in the final melt. Like, this is the final melt. Everything that gets pulled down here, baby, you're going to be scratching and pulling trying to get it out, because this got to be spray. It's definitely going to make it stuck. You know, you can get it out, but you're going to be wasting more time trying to get it out. So yeah, make sure you have all your baby hair out. And y'all, I have another issue I have. Hold on, before I even get into that. See the got to be spray? This is what I was talking about. You want to spray the spray all across the lace up top. And this is the secret to the melt, y'all. Y'all not listening to me. I tell people this all the time. This is free game. Spray that got to be spray on that lace. And then grab that band. And then tie that band. You don't even got to tie too tight. Just make sure the band is holding everything down. Make sure it's over the ear tabs. This is a big important step too. Make sure it's over every part that that lifts most commonly, if that makes sense. So my ear tabs, they lift more often than any other part of any other part of the lace that I glue down, because it's the ear tabs. I have no clue why, but they do. So I try to move quick, and I try to make sure that my band is literally like staying right over that part. But yeah, this is free game. The spray, then the band will have you melted, like laid, melted slay. Like, it's all there. That is the biggest thing as far as melting the lace. So while that's melting, I like to do this after. I like to style the hair after I'm melting the lace, the final melt. Because while it's drying, this gives the lace enough time to just melt into the skin and just dry. And as you see, the band wasn't over this little part that I needed it to be over, so it started to lift just a little bit. Because when you do spray it, it will lift. Like, it's alcohol in the got to be spray, so of course it's gonna lift. So that's why you kind of have to be fast with it when you're putting it on there. I believe it works the same way with mousse too, with people that use mousse. I personally don't like to use mousse for the baby hair because I'm scared. Like, I don't move that. My baby hair takes me a little minute. So I'm not finna be playing that game with no mousse. I go in with my if I'm doing light baby hair, I like to use spritz because it won't hold too long. But 90% of the time, I do use my black got to be gel for my baby hair. I don't have time for spritz. Like, I really don't. So while it's melting and everything is down, I like to go in. We're gonna go ahead and start straightening the hair. But if you weren't straightening your hair, you would go, like, the next step for you would be to just style the hair. You know, just get into the movement, you know. So I'm using my heat protecting spray as I go in and I straighten this silky hair. Okay, heat protecting spray plus a good plus a really nice flat iron. I don't even have a super nice flat iron. This is literally one of the old school ones that I got from the Bee Supply store. That is what's gonna give you a super silk press. And of course, maybe adding some bio silk when you blow it out before you install it. I believe that also goes into a nice silk press. But for me, a quick, nice silk press is just going in with some heat protecting spray, because I think it does have a little oil in it. And then just pressing it out. That's all you need. Literally. People be trying to sell these little, oh, this is what you need for a silk press. And they be like 10, 15 products. So I'm like, look, you don't even need all of that. Calm down. Stop the cap. Because once y'all see how silky and pressed out this hair is in the end, y'all gonna be like, dang, all she used was heat protecting spray. Literally all I use is heat protecting spray. I did not put no bio silk on this hair, y'all. So don't believe the cap when they be trying to sell y'all all these products for like a silk press or anything like that. It really don't even take that much. And plus, why are you putting so much products on your hair for a silk press? That stuff's gonna be way down. Also, another thing, so with the heat protecting spray, it can weigh your hair down too. So don't spray too much. You want to spray it however far away the bottle says to. So if that thing says spray from 6 feet away, spray from 6 feet away, because if not, your stuff is going to be so oily, so heavy, no movement, and it's going to be looking raggedy. So I went ahead and straightened everything else off camera. You know, y'all know how to straighten hair. This is not no straightening hair tutorial. And I know I was kind of close with spraying the hair, but look, don't be like me. Follow directions, you know. And I like to press over it a few times to get rid of all the excess oil. So you'll see me doing like 3 or 4 passes on the hair. The hair is really good as far as like taking heat. Like it didn't smell burnt or anything, of course, because we got the heat protecting spray. But no matter how many passes I did, even after that, it was still pretty good. Like, this hair is bomb, y'all. Trust me. Very good. I swear, this is like, I love this wig because I was just like, bro, I didn't even have to highlight this wig. Oh, and it looks so pretty, you know. So if you're not the one, if you don't know how to do highlights, this wig is just for you. It's perfect. We love a good highlighted wig. We love it. So yeah. And oh yeah, I'm also using like a chaser, I guess if you can call it. My sister, she got one from cosmetology school, and it basically just holds the hair in place as you're flat ironing it. And I feel like that's essential too for a silk press. You know, you always want to do the chase method. My bad. You always want to do the chase method whenever you're doing a silk press. And I'm sorry, y'all, I be slurring my words. I really don't understand why. But yeah, I feel like it's key for a good silk press. Always want to chase your hair. And yeah, we was literally making TikToks this entire video, guys. That's why she's still like in the camera, in and out the camera like that. And I think we were still, yeah, right here, we were still filming. Like, this is literally a part of the TikTok. And for that TikTok to only be, 30 or 20 seconds, and we filmed for more than 40 minutes, honestly. This took hours. And that just lets you know, like, don't be knocking TikTokers. Like, especially the ones that have all these cool special effects and, you know, they're getting in character or doing skits and stuff like that, because it's not just a skit that they just, of course they just thought of it. But it's not like they was like, oh, let's do this skit, and then they just did it and it was done in like 20 minutes. No, I'm pretty sure it took hours, because nothing ever comes out right the first time. You know what I mean? Like, look at me pressing this hair. I'm literally having to go over it 3 or 4 times because nothing ever comes out right the first go around. You always have to go back and redo something because nothing ever comes out perfect on the first try. Okay, sometimes, but not all the time. It's very rare. But as you can see, y'all, this hair is getting extra silky, extra pressed. It's giving. And don't these highlights just fit her complexion? Like, it really fits her. I'm a fan. Honestly, I really am. I'm a fan. And she was feeling herself. I think y'all see her dancing. She was really, really feeling herself. And I was feeling her too. Like, I'm really loving these highlights on her. Just stay tuned, y'all, because next month we're going to do such a pretty color on her. I cannot wait to do her hair. Very excited. I really want to start getting into color too, guys. So just stay tuned, because there is a lot gonna happen with this channel. You know, stay tuned for the ride. You know, subscribe if you want to be a part of the journey. I believe it's gonna be great. I really do. And don't talk about me flat ironing in these big chunks, y'all, because she had to go to work too, so I wasn't really trying to like keep her there longer. And I think she still probably ended up being late, but my apologies for that, Mia, if you're watching this video. But yeah, I just had to hurry up and do what I had to do because I did not want this to get fired. So I was just trying to hurry up as quick as I possibly could. But yeah, this hair is very nice, guys. It was very soft. I don't even know if you could tell, but like, just look at it. Look at it. Look at these highlights, bro. Like, I'm very happy this hair was already highlighted. I believe they should continue to sell highlighted wigs like this. It's giving what it needs to give. Very much. Boom. Look at how silky that hair is. Exactly. Sis is feeling it, and so am I. And she's eating a cookie that my mama made. My mama came in and baked us cookies, or gave us cookies, and they were very delicious. And so after you straighten the hair, or after you're done styling the hair, or really you could do this halfway through. So after you do like one side, you can go ahead and take that band off, as I'm doing right now. And I like to hold it in the front as I'm untying it and taking it off, because for me, sometimes it just be falling down. It depends. I don't know. Maybe people got a really small forehead, but I like to hold it so it don't fall in their eyes. And look at that, y'all. This is the final melt. Boom. Like, where'd that lace go? Now we can say, where's the lace? Where is the lace? Let's look for it. I don't see the lace. Do you see the lace? No. So I like to comb out my baby hairs after the fact. I don't even know what step this is, guys. I'm literally just talking because this is supposed to be a walkthrough. But yeah, brush out them baby hairs because we don't want them to be too crunchy. And I believe I was also brushing them out too because I decided to go with like a soft baby hair instead of a hard one, because I asked her and she was like, she normally do her soft. I can't remember, I could be wrong, but I wanted to try them soft. Like, this is my first time ever attempting to do soft on like an official install. I did it on my sister once, but that was just trial and error. So this is my first time trying it like for real. So after you comb those baby hairs out, you want to push all the extra hair back. And then we're going to go in and cut these baby hairs. I think here I'm still combing them out. It was still a little crunchy right there from the Got To Be spray. Yeah. And so I like to I used to use a razor, but I felt like that was like either my razor wasn't sharp enough or what, but I just go in with scissors now. I don't even use a razor no more because razors, it don't work for me. Like, it worked, but it's too much for me. So I like to go in with my scissors and cut the baby hair. And I kind of go back in and cut them again because I really don't like to cut them too short on the first time. I've had I did an install where I cut them way too short and I was very upset with that. So I just, inch my way up each time. So I cut them long first and then I look at them again and I'm like, okay, maybe I should cut these a little bit shorter. You'll see that I do that with the ones in the center because I'm gonna do some really short, like swoop baby hairs in the center. And I was kind of rushing on this part too because I really didn't want her to be late for work either. Like, she freaking called her boss, told her she was gonna be late. She's like, should I call? Y'all, it was crazy. But like, as you can see, I got my spritz and I spray the spritz on my brush and then I begin swooping the hair. That's how I like to do my soft baby hair. I'm still experimenting with the soft baby hair. I don't think I'll ever use mousse. I don't know. I'm very scared. I don't ever want to use mousse. It takes me a minute for my baby hair, so I don't want to put that mousse on there and then just be swooping and then my lace is lifting. So I don't think I'll ever use mousse like that. It's too much. I'm okay with spritz because at least spritz is like sticking. It dries a lot quicker than mousse. So I'm cool with it. So every little swoop I do, I like to spray the spritz on there. And it should hold because, it's holding spray. But what I've noticed with the spritz though, anybody can leave some advice for me in the comments. But what I've noticed with spritz is like it'll hold, but it won't hold long. So maybe I should use Got To Be spray because I know that's what Tay did, or somebody said that's what Tay did for his little curl baby hairs. And they be sitting, or maybe I should have just curled them and they probably would have held a little bit better. But she came back later that night for me to crimp her hair and her little baby hairs was falling and I'm like, what the heck? So I don't know. But even if I did curl it and I go in with the spritz and I swoop them, wouldn't they still fall though? Because I'm putting like product on top of the curl or on top of the hair. So I don't know, it don't make sense. If anybody can explain that to me, I'll be very grateful. I'm always open to criticism and what I should do better. So just let me know. Just let me know. So yeah, we're gonna swoop those baby hairs on the side. And I think I didn't swoop them as much, or I cut them shorter on this side than I did on the other side. And that's my fault, y'all. Like I said, I was rushing. I really didn't want her to be late for work. But they still came out cute, y'all. Don't get me wrong, these still came out very cute. I think next time I'll just probably go in with some Got To Be spray instead of the spritz. And I don't know if it's just me, but my swoops always come out different. Like on one side they come out one way and then on the other side they come out another way. I don't know if it's because I'm right-handed and I'm just dominant on one side, but they either come out on their line, or I don't know, one side be more swooped than the other side. And I like my stuff to be identical. And as you can see, I'm just cutting the baby hair shorter in the center because I did want them to be like little baby swoops. You know what I mean? You'll see. But if that happens to anybody else, let me know. I want to make sure I'm not alone, but my baby hairs always come out different on each side. Like, they look similar at first glance, but if you were to really study them how I would study them, you'd be like, that's a little different. It's not a huge noticeable difference. But if you do hair, you'd be like, yeah, she probably should have fixed that just a little bit. But no, look at how nice these baby hairs are coming out, though, with me just using spritz. I didn't use Got To Be gel until she came back later because they fell. And I should have cut that other side shorter, but hey, this install is still laid. We're not gonna critique too much on me, okay? So don't do too much. And I'm cutting them a little bit shorter because I said, okay, that's way too long. Because I really just wanted the little swoops, you know. I didn't want too much right there. And we just swooping it. And I know I'm blocking the camera. Forgive me. It's really hard for me not to block the camera. So after I swoop it, you're gonna see it's gonna be super cute. Boom. I don't even think I'm done, but towards the end you'll see it's really swooped really nice. But do you see how long this is taking me, though? Like, when I tell you I take a long time for my baby hair, I take a long time for my baby hair. Because a lot of people are picky about their baby hair. And I think I'm picky about the baby hair too. Okay, I lied. I'm not picky about the baby hair. But I'm low-key a perfectionist, so I want things to come out a certain way. So I like to take my time, especially on this part. So, yeah. Don't judge me. And I swooped them on this side too. I should have cut off a little bit more blonde over there, but that's okay. It still came out laid and slayed. As you can see, baby hair is on fleek because, hold on, y'all, this is cute. This is really cute. And I'm just straightening it again because I had it in that clamp and it was a little bent. So look at how silky this hair is, y'all. She is silk pressed out. So after you do that baby hair, you want to push all the hair forward, or, you know, comb it down and forward so that it looks like a natural hairline. Like I said, I'm just going in, straightening all these pieces that were bent in the clamp. But this is really cute. And this is the final result, you guys. Look at those baby hairs. So this is the end result, just showing you how nice and laid that looks. Look at how silky this hair is. And like I stated earlier, we did go in and crimp the hair. And this is the final look. This is beautiful. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And make sure you stay tuned for the next video. I have a huge surprise for you guys. See y'all in the next video.